What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, we talked about part 1 of the Heroic Trials last week, and part 2 is like maybe possibly even easier. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, the first thing you need to know about part 2 is that you need to use a fire team. Single target as well, only because, and I'll be very specific here, only because the opponent you're going to face in this, well, there's only one unit. Normally with Heroic Trials there's 2, but remember the second half of the banner, you basically have 2 assists. So the only one that's really going to count here is the one adventure we're talking about. So, yeah, it's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, the team that I'm using here, this is a pretty straightforward team. Single target, fire. I am using magic. Let's go ahead and jump in here and talk about the resistances. And I'll basically give a blow-by-blow on this team because, well, it's not going to take long. So we have debuff magic. Magic is down 40%, and it naturally is already down like 35%, or I'm sorry, 20%, because we've already debuffed it another 20%. So really, magic is your best, but you could do physical and be just fine. The main thing is you want to do single target, and well, when it comes to fire, magic is the strongest single target. Notice I am not using Line on here. I am using Otarl instead. The reason I'm doing that is because, number one, Otarl's got a better debuff than anybody else as far as single target debuffs go. 2, and this is a big one, you're not going to have enough time to get an SA out. Even if you do, it's not going to make a difference. You're going to get it on the same turn either way. So getting that extra 33% isn't going to make a difference. So we're going to use Otarl to do his 45% strength and magic debuff. Okay? Everybody else is just going to do their basic buff. Now, you will notice that this Reveria, if you're using her, she does a magic and fire resistance debuff, but we're not going to need it. So I can actually buff her on this turn, because on this turn, on turn 2, we're going to debuff fire and magic 35%. So it's kind of redundant to do Reveria's debuff, because we're going to do Tiona's here in just a moment. So, but I will say that 45% debuff that Otarl puts out is really, 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 really important. The main reason for that is simply because if we don't do that, Naza's immediately going to die. It's not going to feel good. Now, Naza, we're going to use her single target debuff. Single target plus 25%. It's basically going to let everybody else do a crazy amount of damage. And I hear you saying, but Naza has a really good single target debuff too. She does, but A, not as good as Otarl's. B, because of the way the swap anklet works, you only get 1 turn. So it's better to do the debuff on turn 1 with Otarl than we'll do the single target debuff on turn 2. Okay? Everybody else is going to go basically into their general buff debuff stack. Reveria has nothing else to do, so she's going to go ahead and basically continue on to her 3rd skill or strongest skill. And as I said before, we're going to debuff magic and fire resistance here. So let's just go. Now, it is worth noting, Naza didn't get killed. Perfect. It is worth noting that Aisha goes 1, 2, 3 with her build order, so we're going to go ahead and do 3 on this turn. Reveria is 2 and 3, so she doesn't do skill 1 ever with this. She just goes 2 and 3. Tiona goes 1, 3, 2 with her build order, because their second skill here is 120% per each target's strength and magic buff skill in room strength and magic buffs. So she's going to get 120% damage because she has this unit has a strength buff on her. So that 120% damage is going to pay out very, very, very well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, I will remove her strength buff, but if I'm honest, we probably won't get to turn 4 anyway. Just in case, I am going to do Yosuga with Haruhime. That's just going to make sure that we get a heal, just because it looks like Reveria might need it. But let's see here. Yeah, didn't even make it to turn 4. Sometimes we make it to turn 4, but turn 3 we wrecked our opponent out. So now we've got an S clear. I'm curious, just like with the last one, can we auto clear this EX style? So let's see, auto clear the EX with these units. I don't know, honestly, if that's going to be possible, because a lot of it depends upon if we did the debuff. Now, it does look like Ocharo got his debuff out, but remember, everybody else is going to do a base level attack. So, actually, hilariously, it looks like we might do it. Naza did not die, and her SA is once again dependent on the buff, which she gives herself. Now, I don't know if she got the buff removed on last turn. I don't see the icons here, so I can't verify at the moment. And frankly, I wasn't paying attention before. Let's see. Actually, she shouldn't have, but it looks like she did, so. Doesn't really matter, though. Hilariously, this is going to be an S clear. Nobody's dead, and we're going to finish this on, like, turn 6. This is embarrassing. Like, the heroic trials for these units have been so hilariously easy. Like, I have yet to see heroic trial, at least as long as I've been whaling in this game, where you could legitimately farm the EX mission. I almost don't have to do any other mission aside from EX. That's unheard of. To be able to auto EX, that's really rare, really strange. So take advantage, guys. Severely. I mean, for real. Take advantage. Now, in a situation like this, obviously Naza died that turn, but you can kind of already see it in the team. Like, if I hadn't gotten the escalator last turn and she had died on that turn, I probably could have just kept going and eventually got the RNG right. Because that's literally what it is, RNG. It's just a matter of Naza getting attacked once instead of 2 or 3 times, like what happened this turn. So, don't get flustered. Just recognize the situation and understand how to combat it. That's pretty much Lake games in a nutshell, if I'm completely honest here. All right. So as soon as we're done with this, we'll talk about which unit you want out of this. Now, if you watched my Whalebox summons earlier, I did pull the new Leafia, who actually is on this banner, and I was kind of like sneering, but that's because I forgot what Leafia does. Leafia is the ailment assist, and Leafia is fan-freaking-tastic. So if you wonder how people do crazy stuff with their units in Wargame, Leafia is a great example. Basically, Leafia with her ailment is going to come out of the gate and immediately, and I mean immediately, start wrecking folks. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Exchange. Okay. Now, obviously, you've got Royal Sword Princess Bond. The Royal Sword Princess Eyes, that unit is the unit that does amulet resistances, and I'm going to be honest, you're not going to use that. That is a garbage skill. Shamanic War Dancer. Now, the question I keep getting asked is, if I get this bond, will that drop the unit? No. Basically, the easiest way to tell is if it is a hexagon like this, that means that it is just a bond. Only a bond. If it was a square with the purple outline, then I would tell you you're getting the unit. But this is legitimately just a bond no matter what you get. So if you don't have Shamanic War Dancer, that's fine. Getting the bond isn't going to get her to you. I would probably say get one of the assists instead. Honestly, the best unit here is Uniform Elf. The Uniform Elf Leafia is an ailment unit that you can use in Wargame. She's very good. Let's go ahead and grab her unit here and talk about that. Alright. So, the Eyes unit here, if we go and Limit Break her, Strength and Endurance plus 20%, that's pretty good. Seal Resist and Taunt Resist plus 100%. Honestly, you don't need that. The anklets are just as good. It kind of wastes a vital spot. Now, Leafia, on the other hand, let's go ahead and find her real quick. There she is. So this Leafia unit, she does 45% seal. That literally means, like, just about half the people on the opponent team are going to be sealed or at least attempted to steal. And she does strength and dex minus 20%. So she's got another strength and dex debuff on top of that. So fantastic unit. Leafia is a great catch. If you pull her, that's wonderful. Definitely get the bond for her. I think she really is the kind of runaway choice for this. Like, she is the no-brainer choice for Heroic Trial. So make sure you're making wise decisions here. Sayaka is not bad. The thing is, she's more of like a sack unit. I really don't think having her max limit broken is going to change much in the way of your ultimate gameplay. But we'll see. I do expect part 2 to be coming in here really soon, so we'll see what happens with that. For now, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Like, comment, share. And guys, remember, if your mom asks where I went, tell her I just went out to the store to grab a pack of cigarettes. I swear I'll be back any minute now.